The Coachella Valley is in the middle of one of the biggest development waves it has ever seen. And we're talking about billions of dollars hitting all at once. A Disney residential community with its own Crystal Lagoon, two major surf parks rising out of the desert sand, a historic downtown theater coming back to life, and an 11,000-seat arena that's already drawing some of the biggest names in live entertainment. If you've been watching this valley and thinking about making a move, this is the video that you need to see. Hi, Neil here, and we help people buy and sell all over the entire Coachella Valley. So if you're trying to make a move around what's changing in 2026, we'll help you make the smartest call for your exact timing and price range. Let's get into the new and coming soon projects that are going to reshape how the Palm Springs area looks, how it feels, and certainly how it moves in 2026 and beyond. I'm going to walk you through everything that's new, everything that's under construction, and everything coming soon, so you know exactly what this market will look like heading into 2026. Let's start with the one thing that still makes people do a double take when they hear about it. Disney is building a residential community here in the Coachella Valley, and not just in name. This is Story Living by Disney in Cotino and Rancho Mirage. It's the very first one they've ever done. And that matters because Disney doesn't attach its brand to things casually. When they build something, they build it to a standard, and that standard tends to pull everything around it upward. So what is Cotino actually? Well, it's a master planned community sitting on about 618 acres in Rancho Mirage. And the centerpiece of the whole thing is a members-only Crystal Lagoon. We're talking white sand beaches, clear blue water, paddleboarding, kayaking, swim-up bars, executed to the kind of standard that you'd expect from the company that built Disneyland. Disney is programming events and experiences around the lagoon, so it's not just a pretty amenity sitting there. It's meant to be an active social hub for the people who live there and the members who buy access to it. 4 builders are involved in Cotino right now. Shea Homes is handling a range of single-family product. Davidson Communities is in the mix. Woodbridge Pacific Group is building there also. And then there's the Brian Foster Residences, which is handling the estate collection. Those are the larger homes starting from the upper $4 million range and ranging up to 4,000 to 5,600 square feet. So the price range across the community is pretty wide, which means there's more than one buyer profile being served. In terms of where things stand right now, sales are active and the first homes have been delivered and additional phases are continuing to come online. The lagoon and surrounding infrastructure are progressing, and Disney quality programming is being layered in as the community fills out. This isn't a coming someday situation. People are already living there. Now here's what matters beyond the gates. When a massive project like this opens, especially with a name like Disney, it pulls up the value of every home around it. Rancho Mirage and the neighborhoods closest to Cotino are already seeing that conversation happen among buyers. People who can't or don't want to buy inside Cotino specifically are looking nearby because they want to be in the orbit of it. That's a real dynamic, and it's worth paying attention to if you're evaluating where to buy here in the Coachella Valley right now. The other thing worth noting is that Cotino is essentially putting Rancho Mirage on a global map it wasn't quite on before. International buyers, second home buyers from major metros, people who actually follow Disney, well, now they're all looking at this part of the desert in a way that they weren't just a few years ago. That kind of attention doesn't fade quickly. Cotino is one anchor on the western end of the Coachella Valley. But on the eastern side, a completely different kind of water experience is taking shape, and it's attracting a buyer profile that's just as motivated. If you told someone 10 years ago that the Coachella Valley would have not one, but 2 major surf parks, they would have laughed at you. That's exactly where things are heading, however, and both projects are serious. Let's start with one that's already open, and that's the PalmSprings Surf Club. It launched about a year ago, and it's been busy since day one. Real rideable waves right here in the middle of the desert. And now it's getting bigger. The club is expanding into the old Knott's Soak City Water Park, which was right next door. And that means the footprint is about to grow significantly. That's a major addition, a full water park experience attached to an already operating surf facility. That combination doesn't exist in most communities, let alone a desert community. And then there's Desert Surf in Palm Desert, which is still in development, but it's shaping up to be one of the largest surf parks in North America. The tech has improved so much that these aren't just pool waves anymore. These are real powerful waves that pro surfers will actually travel across the country to ride, and that lifestyle-oriented buyer will factor into where they want to live. And then there's the Thermal Beach Club near La Quinta. It's going after a more upscale, resort-oriented demographic. Think luxury amenities wrapped around a surf experience. That's the kind of place that targets buyers who want the active lifestyle but also want it to feel premium. La Quinta already skews towards that buyer, so the fit makes sense. Both of these projects tap into something that's been reshaping what people want near their home. The active lifestyle buyer, someone who's choosing a place to live partly based on what they can do outdoors, is a growing segment of the Palm Springs market. And right now, the Valley is stacking up amenities that speak directly to that person. Surf, pickleball, tennis, golf, hiking, cycling, it's all here. And the surf parks add a dimension that almost no other desert community can offer. From an economic standpoint, these parks aren't just fun amenities. Attractions like this drive hospitality demand all around them, like hotels, restaurants, short-term rentals, and retail. They become anchors in the same way a major sports venue or a resort does. And when you're evaluating a market for investment, that kind of demand driver matters. The water story between Cotino's Lagoon and these two surf parks is genuinely one of the most unexpected things happening in the Coachella Valley right now. But downtown Palm Springs is quietly going through its own transformation, and that's where we're headed next. While Cotino and the surf parks are getting most of the headlines, downtown Palm Springs is going through something that longtime residents have been waiting to see, and it's happening on multiple fronts at once. Start with the Plaza Theatre. If you've spent any time on Palm Canyon Drive, you've walked past it. This iconic 1936 building that used to be one of the most celebrated entertainment venues in Southern California. At its peak, it hosted everyone from Frank Sinatra to Bob Hope, and then it went dark. It sat dormant and became one of those what could be conversations that locals have been having for decades. The Plaza Theatre just reopened following a major restoration, and it's already back as a fully functioning performance venue featuring live music, film programming, theatrical productions. It's now giving downtown a cultural centerpiece that draws foot traffic and energy on a consistent basis, not just during the festival season. Speaking of the Agua Caliente Band of Cahuilla Indians, they're also investing heavily in downtown Palm Springs right now, and that investment is significant. The Agua Caliente Cultural Museum is a world-class facility that opened on tribal land right in the heart of downtown Palm Springs. It's already drawing visitors and telling the story of the tribe's history in the Coachella Valley in a way that nothing else does. On top of that, the tribe's casino expansion adds another entertainment and hospitality layer to an area that's already one of the most walkable and vibrant areas in the entire desert. Then, layer on top of all this what Palm Springs already does every year without any new development. The Palm Springs International Film Festival is one of the most prestigious film festivals in the country. It's a genuine Hollywood event that brings industry names and media attention to the Valley every January. The BNP Paribas Open at Indian Wells is one of the biggest tennis tournaments in the world outside the 4 Grand Slams. PGA Tour events run throughout the entire Coachella Valley seasonally. And Coachella and Stagecoach, two of the highest grossing musical festivals in the planet, happen every year right here in the spring. These events fill up local hotels, Airbnbs, and keep the restaurants busy and make this a place where people really want to own a home. If you own property in the Coachella Valley, you already benefit from them. And as the downtown Palm Springs core continues to strengthen, new hotels coming online, retail evolving along Palm Canyon, the theater coming back, the baseline appeal of Palm Springs as a place to visit and live, it keeps rising. Now let's talk about the venue that changed the entertainment equation for the entire Coachella Valley in just one move. Acrisure Arena opened in December 2022 in Thousand Palms, right off Interstate 10 in the heart of the Coachella Valley. Before it existed, if you wanted to see a major touring act in the region, you had to drive to Los Angeles or San Diego. Now that's no longer the case. The arena seats up to 11,000 for concerts and around 10,000 for hockey games. And it's home to the Coachella Valley Firebirds, the AHL affiliate of the Seattle Kraken. The Firebirds have been one of the best teams in the AHL since day one, which means the building is full on game nights, and the community has genuinely rallied around them. That matters for more than just sports. A hockey team gives the Valley a year-round fixture that keeps locals engaged and keeps the arena busy even between the big touring dates. And the concert calendar at Acrisure Arena has been strong. In 2026, the schedule continues to deliver major acts, legacy rock artists, country tours, comedy shows. The arena's location between Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and Phoenix makes it an attractive stop for touring acts that want a destination show. And that positioning is only getting stronger as the Coachella Valley's overall profile rises. Here's the broader point. These aren't just random buildings going up. They all work together to change how people live and play here in the Coachella Valley. Each new project makes the ones next to it even better. The arena, for example, makes the surf parks more attractive to relocating buyers. Cotino puts Rancho Mirage on a global map that draws visitors who then discover the rest of the Coachella Valley. The Plaza Theatre gives the downtown area a reason to stay busy on a Tuesday night in November. This compounding effect is what separates a market that's growing from one that's being redefined. The buyers who do best in a market like this are the ones who move during the construction phase, not after all the ribbon cuttings. Most of these projects are still in progress, which means the repricing hasn't fully happened yet. If you want to know which neighborhoods sit closest to the growth corridor, the free PalmSprings Best Neighborhoods Guide in the description below is a good starting point. And if you want a custom plan built around your specific timeline and your goals, call me. Or better yet, the link to schedule a free Zoom call with me is in the description below. It's free, no obligation. I'm tracking these construction timelines every month. Now, watch this next video all about living here in the Palm Springs area.